15, and it was a Saturday evening. He had spent the day decorating the community centre for the Christmas fair with his friends, and he came home. She was ironing, and he went upstairs, he came back down, and he said, "See you in 2 minutes, ma'am." Oh gosh. And that was it. He was found down by the river, hanging from a tree. And it's just the honesty with which this woman, and the way she has really gone into her heart and her gut and explained what she was feeling and what she was going through is very, very striking. I think it's a really valuable document for anybody who, you know, just wants to know a little bit more.
Well, also it'll help so many people.
I think so, yeah. But like it's quite.
So is it
raw.
self-published?
It is, yeah. It's
how
yeah.
can we get it published?
Well, I'll tell you. Well, she's been on radio and. You just go to her website, lindaallen.ie, and you know she has it. She's now she's a counsellor and she's a facilitator, but she was doing this kind of thing beforehand. And she has a photograph of her son. She had 2 children. She was separated, but amicably, and was getting on well with her ex-husband. And there was the usual thing of people, including his friends. He had a group of close friends, and they were the crew, and they were always in her house. And everybody, including his friends, said, but he was in great form. And that apparently is symptomatic when somebody has made the decision, they go into a little cocoon, and they have to, and he also left notes. So, you know, but like there are just such, this started as her diary, her journaling, as she called it, and it just gave her great comfort.
To write it all out.
Yep.
Yes.
And to try to understand it, try to make sense of it, which she has not succeeded in doing, making sense of it. But no. And she talks about like the first Christmas, his crew, i.e. his pals, came around and they had little gifts for her, and they were things like wrapped up, and they were tiny, like his favourite bar chocolate. Those kinds of things, which she was very moved by.
Yes.
And, you know, now this was in, I think, 2012, but it's, again, it was the guilt. You know, she has things like, when I see today, the way I read books is I totally deface them. I underline and turn down the page and then go back. Yeah, she talked about her grief. Yeah, there are times when she loved being with people, and there were times when she couldn't bear it. And she had got another daughter with whom she's very close now, but in actual fact, the way the daughter could only cope with the fact that her brother was gone from the house. So the house just became empty. She couldn't live in the house anymore, so she went and lived with her aunt, I think actually, and her dad, and that sort of thing. They were all very close, and it was all a circle, but and she had the most wonderful friends, and they came up with a very nice idea where they got together and they had a fundraiser, and they said, this woman needs to get away. And they actually fundraised, and she went to Thailand. And she went on her own, and she met lovely, lovely people. She met a young American guy called Nizam, and he, over in conversation, it became apparent, you know, that he had also tried to end his life. And she was talking to him and said, well, what stopped you? And she said he couldn't find a right way of telling her, but the reason he stopped was because he couldn't bear to hurt his mother to that extent, you know. So, but anyway, she had a wonderful time there, and she actually went back there, and is, you know, just finds great. It actually reminded me of another book that I quite enjoyed parts of, particularly the Pray bit, Eat, Pray, Love. If anybody has read Eat, Pray, Love, but the Pray bit was quite reminiscent of her experience when she just left all of the world behind. But this was one moment where she just wanted to be on her own. I need to be alone in this rawness with no witness. This is too enormous for me to bear. This time I need to go it alone. I find this a pattern with me. I don't like a witness to the deep and raw pain when it comes. I drive home, intermittently stopping to catch my breath, and I'm thankful for the darkness of the countryside and the quiet roads on which I travel. Once inside my own four walls, I feel the pain like dark treacle spreading out through the veins, relentless in its purge of any light in its wake, obscuring the view. Deadness, dullness pervades the space. And that is like
wonderful.
Just to describe it, this is a woman who's never written a book before in her life.
But I think that's real feeling,
isn't it? But I also think that when you, like, she wrote this as a diary to help her, and I think when you are writing something in that way, and you don't say, well, this is definitely other people are going to be reading this.
Yes,
when you're totally honest, you can't but be, true and find the words to describe it. I think she's done a wonderful, wonderful job. She's a lovely person. Let's see. Yeah, when she has good days, she talks about the fact that, well, those friends coming with the chocolate,
yes.
And also he's forever 15. She also had an experience which was when she was in Thailand, which she describes very graphically. She almost drowned. And she says that there was a point when she was drowning, when she was kind of, I've never been in this situation, but they say that you come to a point of acceptance. And she said that the thoughts that were going through her head were, okay, this is fine, I'll be with Dara. Yeah, I'll be with Dara. Now, it took ages to bring her back to consciousness and that. But she said she came to a point where she had to make a choice, and she chose to live. And the things, she just is a wonderful wordsmith, I think. She talks about missing his physicality. She talks again about the mother guilt. Because she was struggling, she had 2 jobs. So maybe if I'd been there more, it wouldn't have happened. And then when she's having a good day, she says, but his sister had the same parenting and the same situation.
Exactly.
And what can you do? But there was one other little piece that I just thought was very nicely put. Yes, it's kind of where she is more latterly. It said, from the outset of this experience, somewhere in me, a decision was made to live in the face of his death, to live after him, not to wither and die after him. I decide every day, in every moment, to heal the gaping wound that is my heart, broken open, torn inextricably apart in a way one cannot even imagine. But I do highly recommend it, because...
Is it in the bookshops? I don't know.
To be honest.
Or do you have to...
Anne would probably...
It's available in your local library.
Yes, that's right, lindaallen.ie. They have it. It's just so poignant, so loving, so heartrending, and
God, that help a lot of people.
I think so.
Yeah.
So that's, and like, see you in 2 minutes, man. But she's in a good space, and she's a lovely, lovely woman. There is absolutely no doubt. So that's